everyone. Thank you for joining the All Hands today. And today we have today is the 7th of December, a new month. So there's a lot of agendas coming on in this All Hands. We'll start with me as your host, and we have Wing as a moderator later on. And I will start with the weekly inspiration for today, the story of the world's smartest billionaire, James Simons. Who have ever heard of James Simons here? Anyone have heard of James Simons from Renaissance Technologies? None? None? Not yet, not yet. Of course, not yet. But after this, you will get to know James Simons and his inspiring story. Okay, so who is this James Simons, right? James Simons is actually a very bright child. As a kid, he always talks about mathematics. He's able to solve a lot of complex mathematical problems since he was young. And he eventually became the lecturer of mathematics at Harvard. But he is not just only like our usual lecture that you guys may have in college where they're boring and all that stuff, but he's actually very well liked in his university. He's very chill. Everyone is always ask him questions, and he's always happy to help. He even go to university. I've read that he doesn't wear socks. Very chill guy, a very cool lecturer, right? So he has this high stature in Harvard University, like professor of Harvard University, right? But it doesn't stop him from exploring more. He actually joined this institution called Institute for Defense Analysis, where they tried to crack Soviet codes, if you guys are familiar with World War, but they employ mathematicians to bring in new, fresh ideas to break the code and win the war. So he's using his mathematical prowess, employing his mathematical prowess, he's able to contribute to this institute called Institute for Defense Analysis. And why did I include this? Because it shows two things. First, even though he is already like very settled, he has a very comfortable situation, but a comfortable environment around him, he actually never settled. He wanted to find something that is outside of his usual routine or his daily life pattern. He's craving for more challenges. And this is actually one of the cryptologists, Lenny Baum, whose quote here actually became one of the credo of this Institute for Defense Analysis IDA. Bad ideas is good ideas is terrific, but no idea is terrible. So I hope this inspires, this already inspired you guys, because when I read this, it's actually really inspiring. Okay, then next. So after he joined IDA and he contributed, he quit, he became a lecturer again, but then he wanted to explore more, because a lot of people actually think that mathematicians are especially in pure mathematics, they work on something very theoretical, very abstract, right? But Jim Simons is actually interested in finance. So he built a lot of different tech company even before this company, but this is actually one of his legacy, Renaissance Technology. From 1988 to 2018, it has a total trading profit of 104 billion, 104.5 billion from 1988 to 2018, with an average annual returns of 39.1% net. So that's actually already clean. So what makes him very revolutionary? He's actually one of the company who employed the use of quantitative forecasting in trading. So he used model, he used data, and he keep on innovating on this model to achieve things that usually people will read the news to invest, to look for investments. They will read news, they will employ like maybe fundamental analysis, but this one he used the market movement itself. He tried to do something new. He used past data, and he even was one of the person who actually pushed the usage of computers in modern finance. Very interesting story. And what do we see here? James Simons have achieved maybe what a lot of people think as a dream state. a goal state, like goals. He's a lecturer at Harvard. He joined a very exciting journey at IBA, but he never settled. He keeps looking for more challenges, things he's passionate about, things that is big. He wanted to change the industry. And then he did not assume he used data, of course, because he used forecasting and modeling to make such a huge ton of money. And one of the things that I like about this story is that, for example, if you know in investment, who's popular, right? Warren Buffett, maybe, right? A lot of people say that maybe the profit of Jim Simons here is 50 times Warren Buffett. And then
Hello,
he stepped on toes.
Moodlings. I'm
At
Dr.
the time,
Nicole
no one
Unan,
used
and
this kind of
these
technology. No one
affirmations are
used this
brought
kind
to
of
you
ideas.
by
And
Moodly,
just like
a
the
new
influencer
app that
talk
allows
about
you to
the
share
best
over
idea is
400 moods and
what
emotions with your
matters,
partner.
not really about position.
Today, we
Oh,
will
you're
be
just a
doing
mathematician.
affirmations that are
Why are you
intended to
joining like
bring you
finance industry?
limitless wealth,
You
sparkling
can't
up.
invest or something like that. But no, best ideas is what matters in the even in Bukit Vista. So those are the core values, and also the inspiring story of the man who actually conquered Wall Street, who solved Wall Street, who solved stocks and investments. So I hope that inspires you guys and keep you guys ready for the rest of the week. So that's it from me as the host, and I will give the stage to Hui as the moderator.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Kofidi. So, thank you also for your inspiring story. So, let's be never settle and always use data. So, next we'll move on to the vision and mission statement. So, I would like to give this time to Mr. Jing. So, over to you, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Vidi and Tafway, for getting the introduction rolling. By the way, I just looked up Jim Simmons. He actually happened to be an alumni from UC Berkeley as well, so I was pretty happy to see that. But I have yet to also get to my 130 billion. So hopefully, with everyone's help here, we can get there within a lifetime. All right. The one thing I want to talk about, I have a presentation that I've queued up already. And if you'll go and kindly click on that link, and open it up, we can take a look and go through this particular discussion, right? Sorry, I got some background music on Topia going. Actually, it's getting kind of, I'll get rid of that right now, yeah? So that you can hear me. Anyway, there's been a real clean, or not clean, but there's been a reorganization. And mostly it's gone according to plan, but the other day when we were doing the employee journals, and this affected, I think, a few people's bonuses, we saw that there was still some confusion. And on behalf of the leadership, I'd like to apologize and be as transparent as possible for why that happened. I think this understanding of what a lean, agile organization is takes some time. It also takes some collective belief in order to make it actually real. So I'm going to start at the very beginning again with just a simple idea, right? We protect what we love what we understand, and we understand what we teach. So what I want to do right now, next slide is fine. Yeah, please go to the next slide, is I want to teach. I want to show you what we are doing in this organization so that everyone can understand it, and so that you guys can feel inspired, be delighted by it, and start loving it. And when we love what we actually have created here together as a company, we will protect it. Okay, so the very first thing is, all right, why are we having this discussion? So I want to inspire everybody here as a Vistan and as a Vistern to understand why the reorganization happened and why it's really important that we reorganize, right? I want to demonstrate actually how we can lead using the new system. I hope Vera is here. She'll be my guinea pig a little bit later, and we'll do a demonstration of how leadership in the new system can actually be implemented. But I also want to empower leaders to empower their teams to also do inspirational work. This is a quick mentoring tip that I got recently. So by understanding the system, I think we're all more capable of actually giving more power and control to everybody who wants to do great work. As Vidi said, this organization believes 100% in letting the best ideas win. And this organization that we've created allows exactly that to happen through chapters and squads. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And I also want to set clear expectations about the benefits and accountability of also gaining this new understanding. All right, with that, let's go ahead and go to the next slide, please. And I'll tell a little bit about what was the problem we wanted to solve. Now, I put a lot of text here, but just listen to my voice. I know what this is about, so I'm just using this so that if somebody comes in the middle, they can read, okay? So the first major problem, we had two problems. The first major problem that we had was we were not efficient at solving problems. Okay, why were we not efficient at solving problems? Because most problem solving was unguided. Okay, so we would have basically the squads would meet up, the chapters would meet up, and they would go over and look at problems. But then to solve the problems, we would just say, hey, go out and you figure out something that should work and come back when you have a result. So the problem with that is that sometimes we would not have a solution, right? Or the person that had been delegated to solve that particular issue would not have a solution. So that was no good. We would know where there was progress or no progress at a team level, but when we delegate it to a particular person, that might not have the best actually result. So the issue also was this: the problem might have already been solved before. And when we ask somebody to solve a problem that has already been solved before, we're basically asking them to reinvent the wheel, also leading to an inefficient problem-solving effect, right? Experience. So this was something that had been discussed multiple times at leadership level, and we wanted to put a stop to it. And that's one of the problems we're attempting to solve. Okay, next slide. The second problem that we're attempting to solve, as a follow-up to the first problem, does that mean we have to change everything now? No. We don't have to change everything now because we detected that problem. There's a lot of good stuff that we have, so let's keep it, right? The first thing is the sync-ups that we did before, they allowed us to develop culture. It built accountability around a role, set goals, and discover and prioritize threats and opportunities. So those are really good. So keep that, right? We also had good mission meetings, and they were really useful to plan projects, track progress, and also develop leadership and team management skills. So keep that, right? So we're keeping the existing meetings that we had before, but this kind of leads to problem number 2, which I'll go into more detail right now. Problem number 2 was we didn't actually understand the meaning of a squad and a chapter. They are different, but we kind of use them interchangeably, and that was a problem, okay? So a lot of times we would say, oh, there's a chapter meeting. In fact, many of the chapters that we had called chapters were in fact squads, and I'll go and describe what the difference is fundamentally between a chapter and a squad, right? So the squad is the team that you work on for a particular mission to transform a particular user here. If you don't know the mission, then go back to the fundamentals in your orientation and review that. The mission at Bukit Vista is to inspire delight through hospitality innovations that positively transform guests, partners, and employees. So that means fundamentally at Bukit Vista, we only have 3 squads: the squad that works on employees, the squad that works on guests, and the squad that works on partners. That's it, right? So those are the 3 fundamental squads. Next slide. Chapters. We have 6 chapters here at Bukit Vista, and perhaps more as time evolves. These chapters are organized around stages of the user journey, the stages of the partner user journey, the stages of the guest user journey, the stages of the employee user journey. And it begins first with awareness. How does a user of Bukit Vista become first fundamentally aware of us? So that's the first chapter. The second is conversion. How does that user actually then go from being aware of Bukit Vista to actually joining us as either a guest, a partner, or an employee? Third is the transformation process. How does that person become positively transformed after they've joined as a guest, partner, or employee? And the fourth is advocacy. What will that person now say to the rest of their communities after they have experienced the Bukit Vista experience? Okay, so those are the 4 elements of the user journeys. In addition, there's 2 more. Product development works on the technological transformation that allows each particular squad to do the best work using the best technologies, because we want to innovate in hospitality. Okay, so that's what the product development team does. And business intelligence looks at the effectiveness and the efficiency of the performance of each team and guides using things like data science, data analytics, and by looking at quantitative elements that improve the performance of each team. We are also looking to expand and learning more about how to improve the qualitative experience of each particular user group, and that perhaps will lead to the birth of a new chapter as well. But okay, that's essentially what a squad is, and that's what a chapter is. Okay, if we'll go to the next slide. All right, so every employee here belongs at least to 1 squad and 1 chapter, right? So I've explained that already. Your squad is the team that you work on a particular user mission. Everyone here either works on the guest mission or the partner mission or the employee mission. Some people maybe work a bit on both or a few other different teams, right? But most of the time, your primary focus is on one user, okay? And chapter. Your chapter is the group of people that share the same skill sets, they share the same tools, they share the same guidelines, and they share the same knowledge in what you particularly do. These are the people who probably have a very similar workday as you, right? They start using the same tools, they go into the same knowledge banks, they have the same kind of conversation. This is what your skill set revolves around. That is your chapter belonging. So it's kind of cool. Everyone belongs to two sort of groups here. They belong to their squad, and they also belong to a chapter. Now, does this mean we need to change everything again? No. There was some good things about there was some accurate things about the past. So the PD and BI sync ups were actually correctly designated as chapters. Those were actually chapters, right? They revolved around a skill set. The community, HR, and HRR, well, these were mostly squads or partial squads, okay? So we called them chapters before, but they were actually squads, and now we're calling them correctly by their name. They have now been integrated or rebranded into employee squad, partnership squad, or guest squad, okay? Marketing was somewhat of a hybrid. It had somewhat of a squad function, but also had some chapter competency. So that was something that was a little bit in the middle, but marketing is generally now into the awareness chapter, okay? All right, next slide, please. Okay, so just 3 steps here, right? That everybody just keep in mind. Step 1, identify which user funnel you're working in. Okay, you're primarily either, like I said, either in the guest, partner, or the employee funnel. So understand that first. Then attend your squad meetings to focus on projects. You focus on projects, tracking projects, keeping the KPIs in your mind, your OKRs, your SLAs, and you track the progress of your team's progress to that particular user mission. That is the purpose of having a squad meeting. Now, you can attend your chapter meetings to focus on guidelines, all right? And this is really important so that we don't reinvent the wheel and that we don't allow too much lost kind of problem solving independently. We want to share and aggregate problem solving as a company. So we do that through the vehicle of guidelines. This is where you share guidelines. This is where you create guidelines. This is where you improve guidelines, okay? Use the guidelines as a means to achieve your targets. And that is the purpose of a chapter. Okay, next. The next thing I'm going to do is I'd like to demo how a chapter meeting should actually work. It's very simple, and I'd like to call Vera. Vera, are you out there?
Yep, sir, I'm here.
Okay, fantastic. Vera and I will demonstrate how a chapter meeting should work, and it's just really, really simple. Let's say, am the chapter lead, and let's say Vera belongs to my chapter. So the very first question I will ask Vera is this. Vera, how has your week been?
Great.
Okay, fantastic. Now, Vera, I haven't coached Vera on this yet, so this will be live and transparent, okay? I will ask her, Vera, have you made progress on your SLA this week?
Yep, especially
Okay.
in the CM campaign, yeah.
Great, okay. So if Vera says yes, then my next question is, how would you like to share, who would you like to share these guidelines with? Or have you been following any guidelines that have led to your success on the SLA?
I guess yes.
Okay, all right. Are these guidelines written in Coda?
Yep.
Okay, great. Who else do you think would benefit from knowing about these guidelines that you followed?
I think to my fellow HR members that is participating in the campaigns of the other
Okay.
roles.
Very good. And Vera, which chapter do you belong to?
Conversion.
Okay, great. So is there any other people that might actually benefit, any other user funnel members, any other chapter members that might benefit from reading these conversion guidelines, you think?
Yep. I think the BD team will also benefit, and also the employee squad members.
Okay, excellent. And can you think of any ways to improve these guidelines that you've seen in the conversion guidelines?
I think it's based on the inspection. If like we see there's something wrong, then we improve it like slowly from there.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so that's if Vera gave a yes response, okay? Let's pretend Vera gave a no response, okay? So let's, Vera, pretend for a moment that things didn't work out and we need to take a look at the guidelines, okay? So Vera, did you make progress on your SLA this week?
Not really.
Okay, were there any guidelines to show you how you could accomplish those goals?
I think there is, but it's not really complete.
All right. So would you then take a moment today to work with your chapter lead in conversion to complete those guidelines and work with them on the rest of the week?
Yep.
Okay, great. So that's if there's no guidelines, right? Let's say, all right, let's keep on going down that no path again, right? So Vera said no, and let's see. Okay, so let's say there were guidelines then, Vera. Okay, let's say for example you didn't get the results, but there were guidelines. Let's start from there. So I would say, so Vera, you didn't get the results, but you had guidelines. Can I ask you, did you follow the guidelines?
We do have the guideline, right, sir?
No, we do have the guideline, but we didn't get the results. So I'm asking now, did you follow the guidelines?
No.
Okay, all right. If we reach that level, then just follow the guidelines, right? So the chapter lead can just say, Vera, please follow the guidelines. But let's say, Vera, you said yes, right? So we didn't get the results, there are guidelines, and you follow the guidelines. Then, Vera, what do you think we should do?
Inspect the guidelines.
Correct. We need to inspect the guidelines with the chapter lead and then develop better, improved guidelines so that you will get the results that you're looking for. Okay, that hopefully everybody is a demo showing essentially the essence of what a chapter discussion should be like. If we had that kind of discussion, which we actually had yesterday, practically in the awareness chapter, what happens is this: a lot of cross-pollination happens now across a large group of people. So people who are working on a particular mission can be inspired and go, oh yeah, I could totally use that method in my work, right? Every day. Can you share that guideline with me so that I can start getting the results I'm looking for? So what that does is potentially it solves the problem of, okay, now there's guidelines that guide our particular work. We just need to inspect if we're following those guidelines. If we're following the guidelines, we don't get the results, work with the chapter lead to rewrite the guidelines. If we're not following the guidelines, then follow the guidelines. If you follow the guidelines and you get great results, share the guidelines or think of ways to improve the guidelines so that others on your chapter may benefit. Okay, so that hopefully now inspires everybody on what the reorganization was about and how this might be useful for the day-to-day work. I think that this is a fundamental great change. It's an innovation in the company structure, and I think it makes it easier for leaders to actually instruct new people. I think it also makes it easier for culture to develop across the company in a faster way. And I think it also makes it just more inspired to like to work here because you're never really left alone on something. There's always guidance from your squad lead and also from your chapter lead to succeed. So hopefully that will result in a lot of positive transformations. All right, pass it back up to Vidi.
Yep, actually, it's back to Hui.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, back to Hui as a moderator.
Is Hui Ying there or she just quit? No? Hui Ying. Okay, since Hui Ying is not here yet, we don't have a mission statement.
I'm
in
sorry,
this speech.
Coffee. I'm
Yep.
here. I'm back.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Over to you.
I'm sorry, my mic just got some problems. So let's continue to the discussion, to the all hands meeting. We'll move to weekly mission inspiration. So the first is Bukit Vista's mission is to inspire delight through hospitality innovations that positively transform our guests. So I'd like to give the time to Kak Erika.
Okay, thank you, Huing, and good morning, everyone. So we have a few delightful feedback from our guests from the reviews, and I think it's very delightful to see Bukit Vista's name mentioned, and also guests thanking us with privately with the private feedback. And yeah, so that is what I have for this week, and hopefully we can convert more positive reviews in the future.
Okay, thank you, Kak Erika. So now we're moving on to Kak Tendi. Is Kak Tendi here?
Tendi's here, but I think yes, Huing, you can read it for Tendi.
Okay, I'll read it. So from Katendi, our past guest Supi was stayed in Despacito Loft and she got a great experience while staying with us. And she also recommends some of her friends to stay in Despacito and feel the great experience as well. And Supi friend's name is Helena, and after doing visit, Helena also bring one more friends to book the other loft and stay with her. This is so inspired how impact of our five-star hospitality service is affecting to get more revenue by guests sharing their experience to others. So thank you, Katendi. And moving on to the next one is Bukit Vista's mission is to inspire delight through its hospitality innovations that positively transform our partners. First, we'll go to Kaasa.
Okay, thank you, Hiying. So from me, as you can see from the first attachment, actually, that's me with the owner of Villa Koman, Bu Aris, and we went for shopping like 8 hours because yeah, she has got a new built villa, and as you can see there, we got two shopping carts are packed and full. So I think this is actually an inspired delight moment because I gained new insight related to the onboarding program that can be improved, and also the owner can have a lot of recommendation to her newly built villa. That's from me. Back to you, Ying.
Thank you, Kaasa. Okay, I believe the two below is from last week, is 30th of November. So let's move to Bukit Vista's mission to inspire delight through hospitality innovations that positively transform our employees. I would like to give to Kafira.
Okay, thank you, Hui. So this is from Jocelyn. So she said that the IG profile visits finally reached 1,000 this week. So shout out to Wei for making this possible. And our Facebook account is also finally seeing some great improvements. And then from Gray and the guest squad, we have more comprehensive shift arrangements. So thanks to the team for giving the feedback. And then they converted 135 billion worth of booking. Thanks to Mutia and Sharon for sealing the deal, and they received two outstanding reviews that mentions Bukit Vista name in it. Huge props to Erica and Katendi for hosting the team.
Okay, thank you, Kafera. So next to inspiring the hospitality industry through technological innovation, I would like to offer to Kak Nadia.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So this is actually from product development. So as a way to be transparent to everyone, we're gonna share about our products updates. So here we have a few products like Bigger. As you can see there, we have several completed and also can be used by the users already. And also we have several projects and also bugs that we're currently working on, and also some projects that actually in queue for Bigger. And also we have BVGO as well, data feeds for the Redash, and also internal tools, and also WordPress. So if you want further information regarding each of the projects or the features that we've been working on, please feel free to visit one of the training. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you, Kanadia. Now we'll move to the next one is the company theme, target, and achievements. I'd like to give the time to Kofidi.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for the inspiring weekly mission inspiration. This is will be a short report for November 2021. We're going to summarize that our revenue target was 55,000 USD with a stretch target of 65,000. And as we see here in this graph, that in November of 2021, we achieved 54,537, which is 99.15% of the revenue target. So if we look at the overall burn down chart here, we see that the weakest point in last month is actually around mid-November, where the distance between the booking and USD compared to the ideal is the lowest. That means the occupancy within the mid-month is slacking at that sense. So, but we are able to like get close to it again. But by then it was actually late. And if we see here in mid-month, please review the things that actually work and what it shows here that basically we know how to get things aligned, but it just what happened was at the middle of the month it kind of slacked off. So please, for the guest funnel, the guest squad, review the documentations, kind of like classify things that are working and not working, and also execute them, adopt them properly. For December 2021, we started at 51,999 USD. With 1 week that have passed, we achieved about 8,525 in 1 week. So that's actually a healthy amount with total revenue for December at 60,524, which is already higher than November, but it's expected since if we review again from 2020 of this 2020 December, our revenue was 86,000. So this boils down to our next monthly target, which is 90,000 US dollars with a stretch target of 100,000 US dollars. So this is the revenue target. I hope everyone excited about this because we almost reached our revenue target for November. And even what I like, I'm happy to see that even at the last moment, the sales team are still pulling really hard. Everyone is working together, and there's a huge like traffic of communication happening in the Slack channel, and it's becoming visible. Okay, so that's one regarding the revenue target. And I would like to introduce the monthly theme for December 2021. It's festive season. Absorb the festivity and spread the happiness and inspire the light. That is what we need right now. And this will also inspire all of our users, employees, partners, and also guests. So absorb this festivity, Christmas and New Year, and inspire the light everyone. Yeah, that's that from me for today. But the highlight for today is the fact that we almost reached our revenue target for November 2021. Please remember the documentation and adoption as well. And the revenue target for December 2021 is 90,000 with a stretch target of 100,000 US dollars. So that's that from me. Back to Wing. Thank you very much, everyone. And good luck.
Okay, thank you, Kofidi. Now we're moving on to the squad main achievements. So we have our first update from the guest funnel squad. Back to you again, Kofidi.
Yes, thank you very much, Wing. So there's primary achievement is review breakdown for guest funnel improved for November compared to October. The accuracy went from 4.64 to 4.84 with a check-in of 4.52 to 4.85 and communication from 4.68 to 4.85. Our code adoption is the full usage of documentations and even in the operational, we'll have to improve the stats tracking and the data source. Back to Wing.
Okay, thank you for the update, Kofidi. Now we're moving on to the partnership funnel squad. Over to Kalilis.
Thank you, Huing. So for the partnership squads, our big achievement is mostly achieve all of the SLA in conversion, transformation, and also advocacy. But we need to do like more push in the awareness partner funnel, especially in digital marketing. So I'd like to launch our Facebook ads tomorrow. I hope it can boost the performance of especially of the websites. And the secondary achievement, we've created a manual performance tracking. Although it's manual, actually it can give us insights on how's the performance of each month. So we can see the comparison and trying to get some insights from the data. And for CODA adoptions, it's actually fully moved from the paper. We need to improve the adoption and inspection. Thank you, Hui.
Okay, thank you, Kalilis. Now we're going to hear the achievement from Employee Funnel Squad. So over to Kak Ara.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you. From Employee Funnel, I think we're making another progress for the MBKM program. Yeah, last Friday we had MBKM interview session successfully attended by Jing, Vidi, and Shelin. So that was pretty cool. Thank you for Vidi, Jing, and Shelin.
Okay, thank you, Kak Ara. Now we're moving on to the core value recognition. So the first one we have from Kak Kaila. Is Kak Kaila here? I think she's not here, so I'll read it for her. Kak Kaila recognized Kak Chris and Kak Vera for inspiring delight, help others to help themselves, and step on toes. So the story is, in the past couple of days, she has encountered several technical problems, and two of them being related to Airtable and Coda. And when she suddenly had a hard time trying to figure something out in Coda, Kak Vera reached out to her through Slack and saying that she'd be happy to help her. And Kakaila was shocked because at the moment she also thought about asking her help, but not straight away. And her approach has helped Kakaila so much because not only the requirements been met, she also learned new cool things. And the same goes to Kakris. Kakaila had a misfortune operating Airtable, and when she told the Airtable operator team about it, he quickly told me that he was available on Discord and ready to help. And the error has only been there for 2 minutes top. It's the real hero. So thank you, Kakaila. And the next one is also from Kakaila to Kanadin. She recognized Kanadin into being inspired to inspire delight and never settle and also step on toes. The story is for some time now the conversion chapter has built a guideline that in her personal opinion is already complete, but not so easy to use, especially for the dictionary that we often use, such as labeling, mirroring, calibrated questions, and etc. And Kanadin has stepped up and added more values for the guidelines by making it more user experienced while connecting the dots. And she genuinely thinks that this has made significant differences with how we improve the self-learning system, and it's in a positive way. Okay, thank you, Kak Kaila. So the next one will go to Kak Ara.
Yes, this is exactly as I mentioned before. It goes to Jing, PD, and Shilin for Inspire the Light and Be the Hero. Special thanks for all of you for being the hero by taking the interview with MBKM Comedy. I heard it went pretty successful. I really hope we're getting the positions. Wish us luck.
Okay, thank you, Kak Ara. So next we'll over to Kak David.
Yep, thank you, Viewing. I would like to recognize Emmanuel to be more because he or Steve Ontos and Felfest Learnfest. Because since our last peer-to-peer feedback, Eman has made many changes to be more involved with the team. And last week, he found some lack of communication regarding one of finance project, and he arranged a meeting with the finance team to resolve it. Yeah, thank you, Viewing.
Okay, thank you, Kak David. Next, we'll have recognition from Kak Gray. Is Kak Gray here? Okay, I'll read it for her. So Kak Gray recognized Bila and also Mas Gani for being the hero. So Bila and Kak Gani volunteered to go to Jogja-based office on Sunday because all of the air support phone is not connected. So thank you so much, Bila, for saving the operational team. Okay, thank you. The updates from Kak Gray. So next we'll move on to the personal updates. So please kindly read your answer to the biggest personal growth for this week, and please be ready for your turn and spend 30 seconds for reading your updates. So let's start from the first one, Om Rafiq. What's your biggest personal growth?
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I think, can you make it bigger? I'm sorry, I'm too young to see this one. Can you make it bigger there? I think it's the persuade and negotiation skill compared that they increase, and also the way the communication with the partner now is different than GM because now it related to the guest issues and everything, and what is the guest needed. Really excited about that. Semangat XCR and GM and everyone. We can do it. Yeah. Back to you, Win.
Okay, thank you, Om Rafiq. So next to Kak Tendi, but he is not attending here. So
Hello.
oh, okay, Kak Tendi.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Last is back on mic, so I cannot open the mic. Yes. Yeah. For the biggest personal growth is I'm able to inspecting skill, increase the inspection skill, and bring the ideas to make the teamwork more efficient and not overload on the HR mostly, and then work in the to squad, guest and partnership make me so challenging, but I can use for skill share and then between squad and line it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Tendi. So next we're moving on to Kak Asa.
Okay, thank you, Hu Ying. So for me, I like to inspire everyone to never lose your curious mind. And for my case, I like to say thank you for Hansen actually because he actually taught me how to understand Google Colab. And yep, that's from me, Hu Ying.
Okay, thank you, Kak Asa. So next is Kak Ros, but she doesn't write her update. So we'll move to Hendra.
Okay, thank you, Wing. For my biggest personal growth, I learned to be more detail-oriented when I conceptualize something. It started when I arranged referral campaign concept last week. That's all from me, Wing. Thank you.
Thank you, Hendra. So next we're moving on to Mok Wayana.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Create the right culture in the team is crucial. So back to the chain.
Okay, thank you, Mok. Next we'll go to Kak Nadine.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So my biggest personal growth is that I see that how important to be an empty glass towards the innovations. So it's no matter how much experience you had. And also get myself back to HAR taught me and trained me actually in a way to set up the right culture toward the team. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Nadine. Next we'll go to Kak Kaila, but she's not attending. So from her is to need to understand what type of leadership and persona should be used for certain aspects in working environment. Kindness might take you place, but it is the assertiveness that keeps you going. Thank you, Kaila. Next we'll go to Aulia, but she's not attending as well. So from Aulia is going with the flow of life. And next to Kak Gray, and she's also not attending. So from Kak Gray, seeking more guidance if I don't understand something and more comfortable on delegating things to people. Next to Kak Erika. Is Kak Erika here? Okay, ready for Kak Erika. So lately she reminds herself a lot to be true to herself. Then we'll go to Mutia, but she's also not attending. So from Mutia is enjoying her life process, even though it's something that is not easy. And to Kasharan, also she's not attending. From Kasharan, sometimes letting go of the things we want will give us better things than what we want. Okay. Next we'll go to Prabhav. Is Prabhav here? Okay, ready for Prabhav. So from Prabhav, is improved his drawbacks and he has been more proactive and been appreciated for that as well. Okay, now let's go to Mr. G.
Okay, I've been learning a lot about crypto and blockchain recently, and it's pretty exciting because once you get to the fundamentals, you can see how this could be a transformational technology for everyone. So that's been a personal growth on my side.
Okay, thank you, Mr. G. Next we'll go to Kara.
Okay, thank you. Multiple things from me. I've been meeting a lot of interesting strangers this past 1 week, so I try to tell myself that everyone start as a stranger, so it's not that scary. And then listen to understand, not to respond, in order to have a better growth for your own self. And then you might be skeptical to try new things, which is out of your comfort zone, but that is the very moment your growth mindset is being tested. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kara. So next we'll go to Kasheli.
Okay, thank you again. So from my side, it's more into like the importance of self-control, basically on everything in life, be it like on shopping, control, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Kasheli. Next we'll move on to Kak Vera.
Okay, mine was setting better boundaries and understanding my capacity and not overwork.
Okay, thank you, Kak Vera. Next we'll go to Bila.
My biggest personal growth is to take a day off on weekday. Yay.
Okay, thank you, Bila. And next we'll go to Ersha.
Hello. Sorry. So from chapter meetings, I guess following guidelines help you a lot in progressing, but sometimes guidelines can be improved and not absolute.
Okay, thank you, Ersha. Next, we'll go to Kabayu.
Hello, okay. I spend my nighttime to watch long format lesson instead of movies now. So that I found a lot of free high quality lesson on YouTube, like 2 hours, 3 hours. Like this one, I just watched last night about the DevOps. It's pretty enjoyable. It's like attending webinar, something like that. So that's it.
Okay, thank you, Kabayu. Next, we'll go to Kak Nadia.
Okay, so for me, I completed some UI UX class sessions with UPN veteran Jatim students for their Halo Mentorku. It's actually really nice to share my experience and also gain insight from the students as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Nadia. Next to Kak Chris.
Okay, thank you. So these days I feel more comfortable working with tools that I never used for development. Previously I stressed out myself and ended up doing poorly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Chris. Next, we will go to Rizky, but he's not attending. So from Rizky, he had a recent introspective to look inwards on where he is currently standing in the universe, and his fortune, his skill, and his happiness. It gives him a lot to think about, and he thinks we all need a moment to pause like this. Okay, thank you, Rizky, and we'll skip Robert because he doesn't put in his personal growth. And to Adri, but he's not attending. So from Adri, he said that need to step back a bit and reprioritize what is his goal and what should he do to reach it. And next to Lukman is also not filling in his personal growth. And to Astu.
Okay. For my biggest personal growth is since I'm on my hometown now, I can wake up earlier here. That's back to you. Hing.
Okay, thank you, Astu. Now we're moving on to Mas Gani.
Okay, mine is I'm improve my leadership, so about team management skill. And second is set up the tools or system to allow everyone in the team to work better. Okay, back to you, Hui.
Thank you, Mas Gani. Next, we'll go to Wei or Fatima.
Okay, thank you, Ying. For me, understanding that everything in life needs to flow, what doesn't must come out. So if you want to have new things, you have to sacrifice the old things. Yeah, back to you, Ying.
Thank you, Wei. Okay, next we'll go to Jessie. Is Jessie here?
Or outage, I think, right?
Oh, she asked us to please read it for her. Okay, so from Jesslyn, she used to think that she's a pretty depressing person who's into a lot of depressing things, like songs. But she was glad that her Spotify rep told her that recently she is now more into self-healing songs, which made her realize that she as a person has changed a lot since last year in a positive way. Thank you, Jesslyn. So next is from me. For me, is to don't try to push yourself too hard to achieve your goals because happiness lies in the journey, not at the destinations. Okay, next to Feby, but she's not attending and she didn't fill in her personal growth as well. And to Kak Lilis.
Thank you, Louis. From my side, learning on how to create more enjoyment discussion, well, it's still structured and insightful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Lilis. Next to Kofidi.
I'm undertraining to identify people better to get first flower. Some concepts to classify I'm able to understand, but some is still a bit abstract.
Okay, thank you, Kofidi. Next, we'll move to Kak David.
Yep, feel more comfortable in exploring ideas in discussion.
Okay, thank you, Ko David. And we'll have Bella, but she's not attending. So from Bella, she value a person more than anything else. Next to Kak Nadifa.
Hi, so for me is to recognize that writing a daily journal makes us appreciate little things that happen in our life. That's for me, basically.
Okay, thank you, Kak Nadifa. Next for Emmanuel, he's not attending. So for Emmanuel, is collaboration is not the same with communication. Okay, then we'll go to Violin, but she's also not attending. From Violin, joining various activities is very crucial, not for CV, but for learning on how to network and deal with various people. Okay, next to Hansen.
My biggest personal growth is practice makes perfect is real.
Okay, thank you, Hansen. And the last one is Bayu Asra, but he didn't put it in. So I think that's all for the personal updates. Then we'll go to announcement. Yeah, we have an announcement from Kabayu. Over to Kabayu.
Okay, this is, I actually sent this to the announcement group yesterday, but I just going to repeat this anyway. This is about the employee journal. So the employee journal is basically used for your performance evaluation, to consider your next promotion for your career, and then also defining your bonuses. So please make sure that you get all the feedback that you require from your team leaders or from your squad leader or chapter leader. I've attached the diagram there to just kind of so you understand that who's the person that you need to get feedback from. So basically, in simple way, you need to get feedback from the squad people and also chapter people. Squad people can be your funnel manager or can be directly the squad leader, depending on where your position is. And then also the chapter, most likely you will need the feedback from either vice chapter lead or chapter lead. You can also just modify the diagram on whimsical if you think that your position is wrong. And then also please don't forget to complete your contract details on the employee journal document. And then also please ask for your next promotion milestone. What are you want to achieve in the next 3 months or 6 months? Please ask this to HR or your chapter lead or squad lead, so you know what to pursue basically during your day-to-day work. So that's it. That's the announcement, and please make sure that you have all of the feedback filled. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kabayu. I think that's all for today's All Hand. I'll give the time back to our host, Kofidi.
Do you want to announce this, Kara?
Yes, please. Thank you. To everyone, this is just a heads up that we usually have one-on-one every quarterly, right? So this month we're going to have also one-on-one. We're going to have it with few major topics, which is going to be tool adoptions, culture, new structures of the company, and also termination clause. So yeah, please be prepared. HR will contact you to actually conduct the one-on-one this month. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kara, for the announcement, and thank you very much, Huiying, as moderator for this all hands. If you guys have any feedbacks, please write down your feedbacks in this all hands feedback. And yeah, let's inspire the light, everyone. Are you ready to inspire the light? Let's go. Let's go.
Ready?
Ready lah ya?
Ready?
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice